I heard yesterday, my sources told me yesterday, Melton was still seething about my children, which, I mean, like I said, every day it's the same thing. The guy just can't help himself talking about kids. He just loves talking about kids. He might love talking about kids more than he likes talking about me. It's fucking creepy. I mean, creepy in a way that, like, you're watching a man melt down in front of your eyes and he can't help himself. It's funny. But also, you just go, man, I often think about this with people. I go, you had one life, and his is more than half over. I mean, the size of him, it's probably legit, he's probably, 45, 50 years old? His life is 3/4 of the way over. And this is how he spent it. He spent it hiding from Red Bar, and he spent it talking about children in a really creepy way. And it's almost over. I mean, you don't live much past 50 when you're his size. You don't see a lot of people Melton size walking around in their 60s. You just don't. So unless he drastically changes his lifestyle. I mean, this guy's 3/4 of the way through. It is really too late to change at this point. He might as well ride this into the ground. And I'm sure the stress of just being dragged by everybody is not helping him because he's always online. That's not helpful. But the old boy, I tell you what, I really wish I didn't enjoy it. I really wish I didn't. McBuster said, talking about Melton, says that disgusting fuck can't help himself. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Dr. Rondo says, I can't wait for his Farms thread so I can hear about the story about Melton and Red Bar. Oh, okay. That would be interesting. I think he will get his own thread just because my thread right now is, holy shit, we may think Aaron's a silly goose, but this Melton guy is a fucking creep and a half. I was on the Farms today, and they were saying that Melton's creepier than Vito. And, I mean, I think that's an easy yes. Because, like, I've spoken to Vito before. I know there's the cuties thing and all of that. I don't get involved in too much of that world. I don't know much about those guys. But I don't know. He didn't give me PDF vibes. But, I mean, Patrick, he's way out over his skis with all that shit. McBuster says, hopefully Anna Kasparian finds out about Melton. She will vilify him. Probably make a voodoo doll of the fat fuck. That's a big-ass doll. With little skinny arms and legs. Just make it a giant marshmallow. I hope Cheese is okay, by the way, because his boy is really going through it. Just getting hammered about this kid shit. He's fucking failing in front of me. He's flailing like crazy. I hope Cheese is okay. Because I knew from day one that Cheese was backing the wrong horse. But I feel bad because I think he got sold a bill of goods and he got lied to and he kind of got tricked. But, you know, it's not Cheese's fault because Melton lies a lot about just about everything. And I don't think he knew that. And now he's finding out the hard way, and it's got to be difficult for him. But just letting you know, Cheese, you're welcome back to being super fan any day of the week. Any day of the week you can be super fan, buddy. Even though you have to come back here as a refugee because your boy's a fucking creep, I still love you, bud. I forgive you your sins. It's okay. It's okay. Roots Calhoun says, listening to Aaron every day is like drinking a 30-pack a night. Well, I mean, that's fair because listening to Patrick Melton is like having your hard drive searched. So, Citizen M says, I have a lot of respect for men who stand up to fat podcasters, especially when their daughters are repeatedly publicly humiliated. I think we've pretty much I think we've watched the downfall of old Patrick, Citizen M. And she's definitely not humiliated. If you really think that anyone but him is humiliated by his behavior, oh, honey. Oh, you gotta wake up to that one. That's, woo. Has he been dragged through it? And he's losing his fucking mind, too. And while he's losing his mind, he can't help but keep talking about children. He really thinks this is going to work out. And then those Josh Denny texts came out. And Josh Denny confirmed that when Melton got arrested for coke, according to Josh Denny, that he had to create his own website for the fundraiser because if he ran it on GoFundMe or anything else, that he would have had to give it back if he used the money for something other than what he said. So he basically set up a website to rip off his audience. Josh Denny has all the goods. And this guy was making like 10 grand a month on his podcast at one point, which I highly debate. He probably told Josh that, and Melton is a proven liar. And Josh said he didn't get a fucking dime. Didn't get a dime. So, it makes perfect sense because Melton has fucking burned bridges with everyone he's ever worked with. I mean, Melton burned the bridge with Denny. Brennan can't stand him. Chad can't stand him. A lot of these other, those gay Dabbleverse people can't fucking stand him. I mean, it's just, when a guy shows you who he is, you got to believe him. And he's got a real problem with that kid shit. That's for sure. Look. Lord knows I got my own problems. I'm really glad I'm not him. Really. I will say this. I do have to give Citizen M some credit because he's been a lot quieter on defending that fat creep Melton, and for good reason. For good reason. I think he knows that it's looking like a pretty untenable situation at this point. I'm just glad that he's had this meltdown these last couple weeks, and I really haven't pushed any of it forward. I've just watched other people talk about it. And he's like, fucking Aaron. It's like, thanks, buddy. I'll take credit. J-Bra says, I assumed the only Denny Melton knew sold moons over Miami. Yes, but if you're a cop, can you remember what you ordered there? That's the true question.